What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome to episode 1 of the World Cup Draft to Glory. I don't know how we're going to do Draft to Glory this time around because it's weird, right? You can't get, it's weird. First of all, before we go any further, drop a thumbs up on the video, I'd appreciate that. For episode 1 of Draft to Glory, let's go for 10,000 likes. What I'm going to do in terms of actual drafts is like themed drafts, right? So that'll depend on who we get as captains and such, but we might go for confederations, we might go for specific nations, we might go for hybrids, we might go for highest rated, we might go for like best overall rating, etc, etc, and it will depend on the captains. I did an offline draft yesterday, as you guys saw on this channel, and we got coins for winning, and we got a couple of packs that also translate in regular Ultimate Team for winning the offline draft. However, when I lost in the semi-final of the online draft, the one time that I did it, all I got was 6 packs that were only applicable to the World Cup game mode. So I don't quite know just how it's going to happen. I don't know what we're going to do. Anyway, let me take that 4-1-2-1-2 wide. I'm a big fan of this formation, actually. I feel like I'm developing into this formation as one of my favourites. Not a fan of really any of these starters. I'm probably going to go with Gomez just because good pace. Really good pace with that shadow card. What I really want is a lot of icons. I'd be very happy if we could pick up a whole bunch of icons, and there is one of them in Hernandez. And of course, that gives us a good start for building some good chemistry. There is another icon there in Olivier Giroud. Silva's not bad. Lacazette is a good card. I've got him, his main card. I mean, yeah, we'll take Lacazette. It's you know, 4-star, I believe. Is it 3-star, 4-star now? Yeah, 3-star. It was 4-star, 4-star last year. But that Hernandez is a good way to link the players up so we could get a good hybrid. Oh, big things! I saw that Ronaldinho and I was like, ooh, Ronaldinho. But 98 Pele shows up, guys. That is a fantastic start. Let's go. In at the right mid spot. Do we go with Dembele? Hell yeah, we go with Dembele. Yo, this draft, guys, is turning out to be a really, really good start. I hope we can get a couple more icons. Maybe we go for 4 or 5 in total. It would be good. I don't mind that Luis Gustavo card. Soft link into the left mid, but maybe we go for like a full European, which I'm going to take Khedira for. Maybe we'll go for like a full European / icon draft and not go through the South American region or anything of the sorts. And with that in mind, then we can take Luke Shaw with a catalyst as well. He won't be horrendous. The position problem is going to be a problem. I mean, this guy's alright. I actually have him in my main squad as well. Good pace with a shadow as well, which will really bump his defending and his pace. His physical's a bit terrible, but he's the fastest and he has the best defending out of all 5 that are available. So we'll take him. Hopefully we can get an upgrade to the centre-backs, although it doesn't really look like it. I mean, we could go for the double Russian guys. Both have got shadows. This guy's actually alright. Medium, 6'4". His defensive stats will be really good and his physical stats are okay. We could also go with this guy, but has a hunter, not a shadow. Not really interested in that. Or we could go with Pazdan, who's just way too slow. I'm going to go for this Vasin card. It's not perfectly ideal, but we'll get there. Cedric's a really... Ooh. See, Dani Alves is a great card. Lucas Piszczek is actually not bad at 84 rated. Fernandez is good. Sadly, a hunter chem style, but another Russian. But Cedric with a shadow is going to be my guy. Great pace boost, great defending boost, very fast in general, links perfectly with our team. We've got a lot of shadows on these players. And then in goal, am I really going to have to use... Oh no, we can use Lunev. Jesus, we've got 1, 2, 3 Russians right now. We could have had 4 Russians. We've got 2 big icons. We just need to get rid of Gomez out that left-hand side and put a European player out there, and we will be fine. So in the meantime, if we can't get immediate upgrades to our fullbacks... See, I think I would prefer Kurzawa with an anchor as a left-back over Shaw, because Shaw gets only 6 chem without a link, and I believe only 7 chem or 8 chem with a link because of that position being wrong. Whereas Kurzawa would get better, like would be better. However, we could take Willian as a sub, but I'm probably going to take him here. We're going to pop that there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put Luke Shaw up here, and that is going to boost us to 97 chemistry with a full EU/icon squad. Not a bad way to start things off. Now we still need to improve this squad where possible. Upgrading the defence is probably primary number one, and getting that wide midfielder. I don't mind if it's another right midfielder either. Yeah, see, we could take Vincent Kompany here, but Vincent Kompany with a Guardian, he's slower than those guys, and with a Guardian, their defending will be equal. Fernandinho would be used as a good sub. Rami, I don't care about, he's too slow. Lichtsteiner, we've already got a better fullback. Maybe I take Asenjo as a much, much better goalkeeper to put in that goalkeeper slot. So we'll throw him in there. We lose 3 chemistry on him because of the links. Everyone goes from 10s down to 9, so that's pretty sad. We get ourselves the wide man that we wanted. Yeah, we're going to go Pedro. We're going to take Pedro. We're going to throw him up there. That puts us back up to 97 chemistry. So now we've got our starting lineup, guys, which is almost going to be a 187. It is now strictly about... Let me test this out. 97, 93. See, I don't know if I'd prefer this. With the right manager, I might start Dembele and Deulofeu. Just because of pace. For no other reason than just because of massive, massive pace. I would love a big David De Gea or Thibaut Courtois or something here that's going to work for us. Leno is okay. He is better than Asenjo. He's not better than Asenjo. He's got 2 better positioning, 4 worse kicking, 2 worse reflexes, and way less speed. Okay, so Asenjo, even though he's 1 lower rated, is going to stay in goal. Next defensive spot. Mats Hummels with a shadow is exactly what I'm looking for right now. He's exactly what I'm looking for. Now, if we put Leno in, we get 2 extra chem points. So I'd rather Leno then instead of Asenjo for that reason. And then our last defender, ooh, Versalco. Cancelo as well. Would I rather play one of them at fullback instead of... Would I rather play one of these guys off chem? Versalco definitely not instead of Kazawa, but Cancelo maybe, just because he gets way more pace. Now, yep, he's going to go down to 4 chemistry. We're going to be able to get him up to a maximum of 6 if we get the right manager. But I wonder if that's still going to be better. Now, sadly, our icons have stopped. We only got the 2. Let's take another EU guy. 3 picks to go. Hopefully, we can get a really strong left mid. We do get another icon and another midfielder. Sadly, Modric doesn't fit into the team. Nor does JJ Okocha. However, look at all the shadows. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 shadows on the bench. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shadows in the starting 11. I think JJ Okocha would probably be the smart choice anyway, because we can actually play him on the wing instead of maybe Pedro as a sub or whatever. Oh, now that's beautiful, isn't it? Because I don't have. I should have taken one of the fullbacks from I should have taken one of the fullbacks. We get Contrao. Do I take Caceres? I'm going to take Caceres. Look at this, guys. Look at this. I'm going to swap Hummels around to the left-hand sides. We're going to go and pop Neymar in there instead of Pedro. And then we're going to put Caceres down at left-back. Boom. 86 rated. Everybody is on great chemistry. And we get Neymar over on that left side. Let's now upgrade our team to the highest that we can get it to. It's not going to be a super high rated team. We don't have the best for subs, but I'm actually very, very happy with our starting lineup. We've kind of developed a really strong squad. We've got great players on the bench by the way of Gomez, by the way of Okocha, and by the way of Deulofeu for pace up front. We don't have any defensive options, but Leno, Hummels, and Zikia. Khedira, bit slow but not bad. I like Cedric on that right back with the shadow. Dembele, Pele, Hernandez and Lacazette, fine. Neymar, fantastic with the hawk. And then Caceres. Probably Caceres is the biggest letdown on the whole team. Maybe for that reason. Did I take a left back from the EU for pace, even though I took Kazawa with an anchor because I said it would be better than Shaw with a off chem? It won't be. Apologies for that mistake. Luke Shaw off chem with like more off Kem than Kazawa with a catalyst would have been a better player than Kazawa with an anchor. And I'm going to put Luke Shaw onto the bench because we might bring him on as a fullback instead of Caceres. Now the manager is hopefully going to really help us. We could take this European manager. He gets 10s most of the way around, 7799. This guy gets 10s all the way on Europe, 7799. This guy gets 10, 7799. This guy's going to get 10, 7799. And then the South American gets everybody to 9. So the question is, do I want to play with every player on 9 chemistry or 7 players on 10 and the 2 South Americans on 7? And the answer is, I want to take the South American manager and we're going to get everybody to a 9 chemistry link there. So that, guys, is our draft. Let's get into the action. Okay, guys, into the gameplay we go. And the first opponent we come up against has got a 4-2-2 with 2 icons, Hazard as well up front, and generally quite a good team. Mats Hummels, Kimmich, Titi, Ter Stegen and Jordi Alba. A really strong defence. And one thing that I noticed pretty early on in this draft run is that, well, 2 things that I noticed actually. First and foremost is that if you pick a central-based formation with as many cams and centre mids as you can fit in, you're going to get a whole bunch of icons. There are so many cams and so many centre mids in the icon pool that if you pick the 4-2-2 or the 4-3-1-2 or the 4-5-1 or the one where there's 3 cams, the 4-2-3-1 narrow, you can end up getting yourself a whole bunch of icons. And of course, the icons are very, very strong compared to most of the players that are in this game. Unless you get the elite players from the elite nations, you know, like your Ronaldos, like your Messis, your Hazards, your Eden Hazards. Like this guy's got, you know, his Jordi Albas and his Joshua Kimmiches and his Umtitis. If you don't get those kind of players and you have a defence like mine, you're going to just leak goals. It's just going to happen. The other thing I noticed is that like the team in draft is actually very important. And I say that again because of the fact that although I have a good team in the offence, my defence in this team is pretty poor and my players in general are just pretty slow. You know, we've got Sami Khedira, he's a bit slow. We've got Mats Hummels, he's a bit slow. I can't even remember. We had the Caceres was their left back, Pereira at left back, he's just a bit slow. Like, you know, we just didn't have the greatest defence, and that ends up costing us a lot. And you're probably saying, oh my god, NepentheZ, you're already making excuses. Well, no, I still did incredibly well in this tournament. I just had to score a whole bunch of goals to be able to get to the final. So we end up going 3-3 after 66 minutes. I shush-dabbed that guy because he started dabbing me at 1-0 and 2-0. And I thought in the first round of the draft at 1-0 and 2-0, that's a little bit unreasonable. We end up going 4-3 up with a phenomenal Neymar goal. And I'll be honest, my attack is what saved me. I think it's very, very important in draft this time around. Unlike in the regular Ultimate Team mode, I think it's very, very important to just make sure that you've got an incredibly well-balanced team. I would personally pick a well-balanced, well-rounded team over 1 or 2 superstar players in the World Cup draft. That's just my opinion. You guys obviously may disagree with that. You might have your own theories. We end up winning the first round 5-3. Into the second round, look at that again. 3 centre mids and 2 more icons in that centre mid, and Lev Yashin. He's also got Marcelo. He's also got Koscielny. He's also got Zuma, who's got great pace. Joshua Kimmich, Hulk, Ronaldo, and Lavezzi. And once again, just generally speaking, a much more well-balanced squad than my own. I don't want to say it's necessarily a much better squad than my own. It's just far more balanced. A lot of pace in the better areas, you know, with Koscielny and Kurt Zuma there. Much faster than my 2 centre-backs, that's for sure. Although rather, one of my centre-backs, this Russian guy that I've got, has actually got very, very good pace. He just doesn't have good defensive stats. And whether you like to believe me personally or not, I'm a firm believer that certain stats specifically are incredibly important in this game. For example, I believe that interceptions and marking in defenders are very, very important because they're stats that are impacted when you're not controlling a player. So when the AI is controlling a player on your behalf, the way they intercept the ball or the way they mark players and mark space is determined by those stats. Of course, when you're controlling the player yourself, those stats are irrelevant because you're the one that's manoeuvring them into the space, you're the one that's reading the play, and you're the one that's going to be putting the tackle in as well. So again, even in that sense, you know, standing tackle and slide tackle aren't necessarily that relevant. I'd be interested to know how important they are for human control players, but because you can only control one player at a time on this game, the defensive stats are super important. So if I'm ever controlling Mats Hummels, it's a problem for me because my centre-back, as fast as he is, just doesn't have good marking, doesn't have good interceptions, generally can't read the play, leaves a lot of spaces, and as you can see, I'm leaking a whole bunch of goals. 3 goals in the first round, 3 goals in the second round. And so that was a problem. And so even though I do have pace on one of my centre-backs, my defence is just bad. And let's not be unfair to say this either, I'm pretty bad at defending in this game. I've shown it all this year and all last year that as an attacking player in FIFA 18 and FIFA 17, I'm genuinely up there with the best. You know, I've scored so many goals. I can score against pros, against top 100s, against elite players. It's very, very, very rare that I don't score a goal. I understand the attacking mechanics incredibly well. My downfall over the last couple of years has been, and unless I make dramatic changes in FIFA 19, will continue to be the fact that I don't abuse the defensive mechanics as well as I abuse the offensive mechanics. So that's something for me to work on. Once again, 3 goals conceded. Fortunately this time, 6 goals scored. So we go through 5-3. We go through 6-3, and we find ourselves into the semi-final. Of course, this is the round that we lost in the last draft that I did. We come up against a 4-3-3, and again, a beautiful squad. JJ Okocha, Toni Kroos, Christian Eriksen, Cristiano Ronaldo. The winger's not the greatest. Asensio's not too bad, actually, but David Silva a little bit too slow in that sense. But having Kimpembe, Mats Hummels, Jordi Alba, and Sidibe in there with David De Gea in net, it, again, in my opinion, is just a much more well-rounded squad than mine. Okay, Sidibe, not ideal. Mats Hummels, exactly the same as me. But Kimpembe, definitely a better defender than mine. And his goalkeeper, definitely a better goalkeeper than mine. Actually, I can't even remember who I had in goal here. Did I have De Gea in goal here? I might well have done. Things started off well for us in this game. Get the first goal down the right-hand side. Hernandez into Dembele. Dembele shoots and scores. Beautiful goal after just 3 minutes to make it 1-0. And I thought to myself, hey, this is nice. You know, scoring a nice early goal. Get the advantage. Maybe get a rage quit, maybe score a couple more goals, it'd be great things. We go down the right hand side again, Dembele into Pele. Pele gets the ball, shoots and scores, low driven past David De Gea. You expect him to save those with the saves with feet traits, but that's 2 low drivens in 5 in-game minutes that have gone past him, which is great news. However, my leaky defence remained leaky. A stunning strike from Christian Eriksen there after just 8 minutes pulls the game back to 2-1, which isn't a problem because we're only 8 minutes in, but the game kind of stabilised a little bit there. I get a tackle in the midfield. Ball comes to Neymar. Neymar up to Pele. Pele into Hernandez. Hernandez gets a second bite of the cherry to pass the ball. Out wide to Dembele. Plays another 1-2 with Hernandez. Pele into Lacazette. As you can probably see, I've changed the team around a little bit at this stage. I noticed that Pele was just kind of wasted in that cam spot, so I started playing him up front. I dropped Neymar into the cam spot. I put Lacazette out onto that left-hand side. Nothing wrong with anyone in the specific positions. I just felt like they better utilised in the positions that I put them in. We go 4-1 up in the first half, and I'm thinking to myself, this is great. This is going to be a nice, easy game. However, my goalkeeper there, I think is Ter Stegen, makes a humongous mistake. Parries that straight out to Neymar's head, and then before half-time, this guy gets another goal. Cristiano Ronaldo here running down the right-hand side. I've got 5 defenders in the box. Thought that was a penalty, wasn't given, crosses it to the far post, and none of my defenders react, and that again is a consequence of having poor defenders, low defensive stats on my defenders. Cedric, that Russian guy, and Caceres there, just not good enough. So once again, we concede 3 more goals. That's now 9 goals conceded going into the final, and just look at this team. 5 icons, including some of the best. Maradona, JJ Okocha, Rui Costa, Laurent Blanc. Not only that, he's got defenders like Rudiger in there. He's got Trapp in goal. He's got Jamie Vardy up front. This is, by all accounts, the best team that we've seen in draft so far. No question about that. No matter what happened in this game, this was going to be super tough. I'm leaking goals like crazy anyway. This game is going to be no different. We end up getting the first goal, one of the cheesiest goals I will ever score in any FIFA ever. Look at that, like 4 times it just rebounds to me. If I conceded that goal, I would have been fuming because it's one of those things where the RNG just goes against you. Sadly, I give up silly possession, get counter-attacked and concede a goal to make it 1-1. Soon became 2-1 as well. Get the ball here, down the left-hand side. Neymar goes outside the defender. Good plays there. Sees the run of Hernandez. Hernandez gets down that left-hand side. Got some space, got some time, cuts it across to Lacazette, who taps that one home after 20 minutes and makes it 2-1. It wasn't long before it was 2-2. And again, I just can't deal with the pace and the ability of these icons running at my defenders. It becomes 2-2. And that's kind of where this game fell apart a little bit for me. My opponent, almost directly from my own kickoff, I lost possession and he scored straight away. A little bit unlucky to not be able to defend the goal there. 3 players around Jamie Vardy, but he ends up squeezing the ball in behind. And then it became 4-2 just 10 minutes later as well. Costa cuts it across and JJ Okocha is there. And again, you notice how the problem is that my right back and my right centre back are just never anywhere to be seen. They're just not good enough. At that point, when this opponent made it 4-2, he decided to just pass the ball around the back for pretty much the rest of the game, actually. He'd scored with his only 4 chances, which is my fault for being bad at defending and for not drafting well enough. But you can see here, he just defended, held the ball, and then into the second half, starts again. However, he actually scored from kickoff. I'm all out attack here, trying to get back into the game, trying to press the ball. He ends up getting 1 chance from kickoff and scores from it. A nice goal, to be fair. Maradona with a good finish into the top corner there, past the goalkeeper. And at 5-2, again, just kept the ball. Anytime he got up the field, he would just turn around and punt it all the way back to his goalkeeper, as you saw right there. I stole possession here and there, but generally speaking, one of the problems with this game is, and you'll hear me discuss it a little bit more in detail after the result here. One of the problems with this game is it gives you the tools to play like this defensively, but it doesn't give you the tools to counter it offensively. So there was no chance for me to steal the ball and get it back, because my team, no matter what I do tactically, my team don't act with urgency and push up and really try and steal the ball. You know, in real world football, if a team was playing like that, passing around the ball, back line like that, they would have all 10 outfield players just sitting on top of them. They wouldn't have the ability to do it. They'd have to punt it up the field. In FIFA, you don't have that problem, and it caused a problem for me. You can see there his goalkeeper made 7 saves to the none of mine, which is a bit of a problem. He scored 2 own goals for some reason at the very end there, but you can see 5 shots, 5 on target, 5 goals, and then he just passed it around his back line for the rest of the game. Genuinely just not a lot I can do to counter it, really. It's my own fault for conceding the goals in the first place. This, though, guys, is going to be the end of the gameplay. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, let's get into the packs. So, guys, we end up losing in the final today. Just a very frustrating game, as I'm sure you could imagine, and I'm sure you would have seen from the gameplay. The guy genuinely had 5 shots and 5 chances the whole game, and at 4-2 up, he just started passing around his back line. He ended up breaking through 1 time and scoring with Maradona. And because of the way FIFA make this game, it's ridiculously easy to hold possession of the ball if you want to, because they give you the tools to sit deep and pass, but they don't give you the tools to push forward and attack. It doesn't matter if you go all out attack, which I was. Doesn't matter if you hold second man press and team pressing, which I was. All that matters is the fact that your players just are like, I can't be bothered. So instead of my players literally like man marking, which is what I wanted them all to push up the field and just swarm his ball players and ball carriers, I would have been able to steal the ball back. He probably wouldn't have played that way. We probably would have played a much more enjoyable game. I might still have gone on to lose, absolutely. But I would have given myself a better chance. But because of the way this game is, my players just have no interest in trying to get the ball back. I have to do it all manually. And it just means that he's always got 1, 2 or 3 people open to pass it to, which is obviously incredibly frustrating. Now, that wasn't necessarily why I lost the draft. I mostly lost the draft because my defence is just not good enough. You saw the 4 teams we came up against, and that guy in the final had 5 icons in his team, along with players like Jamie Vardy and such. It was an incredible team. But this defence and such, it just wasn't good enough to cope with those players. Sami Khedira just far too slow. Mats Hummels just far too slow. Caceres just far too slow. And just in general, the low defensive stats of my three of my 4 defenders, it was just a problem. You know, it wouldn't really have mattered if I had even scored a 3rd or 4th goal. What you saw from this whole draft in general was I just leaked goals. And that is because, for me, I got desperately unlucky with my defence, whereas most of the players I came up against had really strong defenders. As you can see, I conceded 3, 3, 3, and then 5. That guy scored 2 own goals at the end of the game. I was really hoping it was a 2 own goals and out kind of thing. I would have laughed my head off if he scored the second own goal and he like got DC'd, because obviously in FUT Champs it's 2, but I think outside of FUT Champs it's 3. He was obviously just being super cocky, super arrogant. He probably knew who I was, and that's probably why he played like that. So, you know, it doesn't make any difference. The whole point, the whole purpose of this is just seeing what we get out of it. So we get 3,500 coins, a North and Central America's premium player pack, a South America premium player pack, an Asia premium player pack, and a FIFA World Cup standard pack. What I'm most interested to see is if the FIFA World Cup standard pack also carries over to the main FIFA Ultimate Team, which it does. So we can actually have a Draft to Glory theme. So we're going to go for 3 out of 3 South American players first. Hopefully we get someone big here. We get a board. That's good enough. 3 boards. Let's go. So we're going to get 381 pluses here. Suarez. Oh, Godin. Is it going to be Godin? It is Godin. That's a massive pull. That is an absolutely humongous pull. 88 rated Diego Godin. He's still a bit slow, but that's a huge pull though. 88 rated. I don't even know if there's many other great players. We get Giuliano and Coates or Coates or however you're going to say his name. Giuliano, 3-star, 4-star. Decent enough stats, but 88 Godin for our 15,000 entry plus about 3,000 match coins back plus 3,500 coins back. That's 6,500 coins back from our 15k entry. So we're about, what's that, 8.5k out. So for 8,500 coins, we've managed to get Godin, Giuliano, and Coates, we're going to call him. On top of that, we're going to be able to pick up the North and Central America. I would have preferred European Players Pack, but it's whatever. The North and Central Players Pack, which we get 2 boards out of. Who's that? I don't even know who these guys are. Mexico, left wing. It's going to be your main man, Irving Lozano. So not a bad pull there. Probably Carlos Vela is going to be chilling in here as well if there's 2 boards. Oh no, Corona. Okay, that's not bad. Corona, Herrera and Lozano. Not too bad there. We'll send Lozano up to the storage pile. And then the Asia Premium Players Pack. Now hopefully, obviously, Heung-min Son. I don't know if you can get icons in this one. So that's a thin pack, sadly. So all in all, although we lost in the final, and although we lost to just a very testing opponent, you know, very, very testing, we've done all right out of the packs, and then we get a FIFA World Cup standard pack. So this is what would be considered a 5k pack. We get a board out of it, though. So we've got an 81 rated player, or higher as our player. English, striker. Is it Harry Kane? No, it's not. It's Daniel Sturridge. Get out of here, Sturridge. We don't want you. Absolutely useless for anything. He's too slow, no shooting. Oh, we get Danny Welbeck as well. Now that's more like it. We get Daniel Sturridge and Danny Welbeck. The perfect link up front. So yeah, Sturridge, 2-star weak foot. Not bad for shooting. Not bad for dribbling either. It's that pace that's a problem, isn't it? Pace is a bit of a problem. And Danny Welbeck, 3-star, 3-star. High, 6'1", much better. Better pace, much worse shooting and much worse dribbling. But we got a few extra nice things out of that. And then, as I say, the most impressive thing is the fact that the packs do indeed carry over through draft. And for me, that was quite surprising. Obviously, we saw in offline draft before that was the case. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go out of the World Cup mode. We're going to go into the regular Ultimate Team mode, and we're going to open this 5k pack, and that's going to generate us some actual coins back. So losing in the final, we're going to be, at worst, 7,500 coins in total out of pocket. But we ended up getting a fair amount of players in the World Cup mode back for that, and that's pretty awesome. You know, worst case scenario here, we're going to get 1,200 or so coins. We get no board, we get no shiny player, so the 3 common goals, probably worthless, all up. So, Kazawa, maybe. What do we get here for Kazawa? So Kazawa's 1,000 coins, so that leaves us needing 7,500. Mamayev is 300. Jansen, probably quite cheap here as well, is 300. So that's 600 coins, and I don't think these will sell right now, but we'll say 1,000 coins for all of this. That leaves us needing 6,500 coins, which we're not really going to get from anything like that, but 6,500 coins or so out of pocket for the draft final. I'm actually happy with that, guys, but this is going to be the end of the episode for today. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rate, and comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.